America, and a third-generation Trekkie, starting with my mother, through me, and I've passed it on to her. But come back here. Oh, now she's shy. She wasn't shy when she was bidding.
You can't bid against it. I mean, look at her. She has that lovely smile on her face, and smart move.
Gonna sell for $600.
I did. I won the Task mask. It's sort of the surrounding scales, not the actual face, but I believe it was actually worn by the actor, which is way cool, and really just a blessing because I got it for $900, and nothing in that room is going for under $2,000, so it's like a score for the little guy, you know.
$900 still ladies bid at $900 that it's selling all through for $900. Yay!
Like, I kind of feel like throwing up. I'm so excited.
Bones, what is it? Answer me. Jim, this ship is dissolving. My hand just passed through a man and a table. Get back up here on the double.
978 is next. Dr. McCoy's spacesuit from the Foley and Webb at $40,000, $42,000, $55,000, $75,000, $85,000. $100,000, $120,000, selling to the phones for $120,000.
Sold, thank you, Jamie.
Yeah, these prices were higher than even we thought, and he's rich, and it was still too much money for him.
I'm not rich, I'm a poor man, but in the middle of my big bid, one item I really wanted, number 110. What happens? In front of everyone, my wife calls. Talk about trying to keep tabs on me. She must have a mental link that I'm bidding $4 to $5 grand.
Could be some form of space madness we've never heard of.
Okay, 984 is next for the small battle-damaged USS Reliant miniature model. $24,000, gentlemen's bid at $24,000, all through selling for $24,000.
Realistically, I didn't think I'd have a chance. I thought it was going to go to a museum or, you know, a huge prize private buyer. But I stuck to my guns. I stuck in there, I dug in, and I got her. And she's mine, she's coming back with me.
After the auction, Andy just had his head in his hands for about half an hour, and his face was just red. The realisation what he'd just done. Just won the Reliant.
Sold online.
I think the only people that hate the online bidders, there seems to be us against them.
All done then, online.
Selling to the telephone. Sold.
The phone and the internet I wish were disconnected, to be quite honest. I always applaud when somebody in the room wins a piece, and if I'm bidding against somebody in the room, I'll tend to bail out quicker than I will if somebody on the phone or the internet, just because I don't know, there's some sort of camaraderie, I guess, going on inside the room.
Lot number 357. The Starship Voyager miniature model. Go boldly. 100,000. 105,000. 110, sir. 110,000.
You don't want to lose it for $5,000, do you? I mean, you sit there and you judge. You can tell if the guy on the phone's slowing down, you know he's getting to his limit.
His competitor was a phone bidder on that particular piece, and that guy was probably watching how he was reacting to that, his bids, you know, whereas we're sort of blind against who the phone bidder is. So in some, I suppose you could say he almost had an advantage over us, but he just held a paddle, just aside, didn't flinch at all.
Last chance. Thank you, sir. Well done.
I found this inside.
Lot 537, Picard's Resican flute. Have I pronounced that right? 2 pieces in the lot here. There's been a little bit of interest in this.
That damn flute. You'll see.
I want the flute. Captain Picard's flute.
That's why I came, and how I got interested in it was to see if I could pick up the flute.
Everybody I've told that I was coming here, their first question is, are they auctioning off the flute?
That flute's going to go for 10 grand.
And, well, we can start this straight away at $13,000. Any advance now at $13,000? 35,000 online. Last chance at 40,000. Sold at 40,000.
doesn't play. It's not a real flute.
So for the Enterprise A model and power supply, 60,000 with Stephanie, 70,000, 75,000, 90,000, 100,000.
The Starship Enterprise, NCC 1701A. Now this is where the bridge was, and my seat would have been somewhere just around here. This is what you saw in the movies, and this is the oldest of all the models that we have here in the collection at Christie's.
Selling for $240,000.
Continue to fire all phases.
Lot 712, Starship Enterprise D. 5,000 ain't gonna cut it this time, I don't think. 100,000. Jamie's bid. 110,000. Kathy's bidder. 130,000. 150,000. 200,000. 300,000. Don't clap yet.
This is the Hero Starship Enterprise D from Star Trek The Next Generation. The thing that most people notice, of course, is that it is a dramatically different design than the original Enterprise. And Andy Probert, who designed the ship, was under orders from Gene Roddenberry to make sure that you knew that this was a whole generation beyond what Kirk's ship was. It's truly a beautiful piece.
400,000. 450,000. At 500,000 on hand. Sold for $500,000.
We were totally blown away when the D was sold. I mean, we expected it to do well, but nothing like what happened.
It was astonishing. Yeah, I'm dazzled by what people paid for some of that stuff.
We achieved our goal, and our goal was to, like I said, and I've said it so many times over the months, is to get this stuff into the hands of the fans, because we know that they're going to keep it, they're going to treasure it, they're going to keep it safe. So I think we feel like we've achieved our goal.
Thank you all so much. You have been so patient with us for the last 3 days. Thank you very much.
When we come back, we'll pay a special visit to some of the winning bidders as they share their newly acquired pieces of the Star Trek collection. And finally, we'll conclude our journey as some of the cast and crew share their closing thoughts on the Star Trek family and its enduring legacy. To say the auction was a success would be an understatement. The Christie's Star Trek auction broke records for pop culture memorabilia sales. The reality is no one at Christie's or Paramount had any indication the sale would do as well as it did. But it's no surprise either. Fans from all across the globe came to New York. Some bid online and others by phone. The response was overwhelming, to say the least. I guess putting on an auction of this magnitude is a little like the life of Star Trek itself. This auction went where no auction has gone before.
Bids on the telephone then, and I will sell. $9,500.
$4,500.
At $8,000.
Sold it is at $2,000.
At $3,500.
$4,000. Sold online.
Sold for $4,800.
Sold.
Sold for $500,000.